Unakusheo, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Conversations of Faith with friends and family. We're so glad to have you here because we're excited about today's episode. Before we get into it, click the like button, hit the subscribe button, set the notification bell so that you're notified every time we go live every Saturday at 6 p.m. Like I said, we're so excited because in the studio with us today is Mr. and Mrs. Elgin Young, Mazare Young here, who are the, what should I say, founders?
Founders, yes.
Founders of the Esther Kai Children, help me with that.
Memorial Outreach.
Yes. ECMOI, Esther Kai Memorial Outreach. Thank you guys for joining us. Give them a round of applause there, Sweetie. Can we do that on this one? Nope, we can't. Sorry, we got
thanks for having
a new
us.
setup.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Man,
We're excited to be here.
if you can't tell already, we got G'd up. That's an expression from Elgin's side of the country.
Slots.
Yeah.
Well, no, California, West Side.
Oh,
That's
Yeah.
not.
LA.
But man, we're so excited because this is something you guys have an incredible ministry. And we'll let you tell us more about that. What is Esther Kai Memorial Outreach?
Well, first of all, I'm just thrilled to be with you guys, and congratulations on this amazing venture. I think
Thank you.
just coming here and having people hear your hearts and just coming from your hearts, not scripted. I believe it's so authentic and beautiful, and I'm glad that we're able to be a part of it. Just to let the audience know who we are, Esther Kai Memorial Outreach. We are a Christian organization. It's a nonprofit to my home country of Sierra Leone. And our focus is enriching the lives of women and children in our nation who have gone through so much over the past just 3 decades. And we have just been able to come into this country after the passing of my mom, who is really the matriarch of what we are doing. My husband and I, after my mother passed away in 2013, we took on the venture to go to Sierra Leone and continue what my mom started on a smaller scale. She was taking care of a few children, and I believe the Lord told us we were supposed to go to Sierra Leone and do it on a larger scale. So we've been on this journey since my mom passed in 2010. We got incorporated in 2013, and we've been going since then. And we have 25 children that we are raising, and it's not really an orphanage, really. It's a children's home.
Children.
They may be orphaned, but we're raising them as they are ours. And so that's what we're doing. And we also serving the women of Sierra Leone who are either coming from either a bad marriage or in a marriage where they are not esteemed. We're helping them to determine and figure out what they want to do and help them along the way to that.
That's beautiful. That is so good. And how long have you two been married?
We just celebrated our 23rd anniversary.
Oh, wow.
We've been together for 30 years.
30.
30 years.
Wow, that's amazing.
How did you meet?
You share that, Elgin.
Yeah.
We met.
See if you remember.
Yeah, exactly. Don't ask me too many things.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't want to get cut.
Yeah.
But yeah, we met at Delta Airlines. I've been with Delta Airlines 38 years now.
Oh, wow.
And my wife, she used reservations at Delta.
Okay.
So we met at Delta Airlines.
Yeah.
And after we got married, since only one of us needed flight benefits, so she went into real estate.
Okay.
After we got married, she left Delta and went into real estate.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. 30 years.
Yes.
Who asked who out? Who pursued who?
Oh, I pursued her for sure.
Most of.
Yeah.
Chased me around.
Did you play hard? Did you play hard to get?
You were playing to chase you around.
Well, it's not so much hard to get. I'm from Africa. I'm from a different culture. And he's from a different culture. And it was more of those things. Would I even like this guy? Would we get along? But what he did that was amazing, that really did it for me, was he took interest in my culture and my country. He will ask me pointing questions about where we came from, about, oh, what about this in Sierra Leone? I was like, he's taken the time to know me. So I was like, okay, I need to give this guy a chance. And that's how we went from there.
They used to call that game, right? He got game. You know what they say now? He got Riz.
Riz?
Yeah.
Wow.
We got Riz.
Isn't that something?
Well, I'm old school, so I still call it game.
Yeah.
I'm in the Hall of Game.
I love it. The hollow game. That's beautiful. Well, Elgin, this question is for you. So you're from
I'm originally from Los Angeles, California.
okay,
Mhm.
Los Angeles, California.
Yeah.
Now, did you come from a Christian home?
Yeah, I did come up from a Christian home. However, when I was 9 years old, my parents divorced,
Mm-hmm.
and then me and my mom moved from LA to Atlanta when I was in high school.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
What was that like?
it's very different,
Yeah,
man. I mean,
yeah,
culturally, I mean, I know, even in the same country, from state to state is things that are culturally different.
right.
And then, of course, in LA, California is mostly desert.
Mm.
You have the beach and you have the desert, but then when you come here, you have all the trees
You
and
got
greenery.
mosquitoes and
Yeah,
humidity.
humidity, mosquitoes, everything. Yeah.
Oh,
So there's a big difference.
so your mother, when you guys moved here, you guys continued. Did you find a church? Was it something that was very important?
No, not until I came home from college. Now, I need to back up a little bit. I did attend church in Los Angeles. It was called Crenshaw Christian Center. Dr. Fred Price was the pastor. Yeah, so I kind of grew up under Fred Price. I got saved over there. And then when we moved to Atlanta, we really didn't have a church home. But when I came home from college, that's when I started going to church again.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Miss Masri? Tell us about your faith journey. Like where
Mine was literally just so crazy, guys. In Sierra Leone, we have what we call Holiness Church
Mhm.
with the loud music and things. So that's a different, it's categorized differently. I went to that church for the first few years of my life. And then I went to boarding school the entire time. In Catholic, I went to a Catholic boarding school. So I was literally living with nuns.
Mhm.
Yes, all through elementary. And then when I went to high school, I went to a Methodist school. So we went from Holiness, Catholic, Methodist, and then I came to the United States and went to a Mormon church.
What?
Tried it all, didn't you?
Is it like what's
Because-
this one like?
No, because, and this is so important that we get the word of God to people.
Mhm.
Because I was of the notion that they're all the same,
I think a lot of people are.
and it's not. And I probably was led to the Lord many times because I didn't quite know what that was until maybe when I met Elgin and we went to his church, the Body of Christ, is when I can honestly say is when I began to understand what it is to be a Christian. So I was just in religion up until
Right.
the 90s. Is when I really got to know who Christ was and my relationship with him and what that meant as a believer.
Mm.
So, yeah.
That's good. When you say you were in religion, explain that to people because I don't like when somebody says I'm religious or they say that I'm religious. I know you're religious. I'm like, no, I'm not religious.
Yes.
How would you kind of separate those two?
Well, for me, religion is what we think we have to do to get God to love us, what we have to do to stay right, versus relationship is accepting what Christ has already done.
Right.
And it is something, the first time you hear that is challenging because from all of the religions of the world, right now it's a month of Ramadan in Africa. And it's a month, 30 days of people making penance for their sins. For all the sins they've done, everything they've ever done, this is the month that they have to repent, fast, and then the next day, 31st day, go back to what it is or what it used to be. Versus, I don't have to be like this. I don't have to carry
a diary
cross.
of your
I don't.
sins.
You don't.
Yeah.
Just an awareness that someone paid the price.
Right.
And what that means is I am eternally forgiven.
Mm-hmm.
I am loved. I am accepted. And when that resonates, when you realize there's nothing else for me to do just to love the one who first loved me
Amen.
and get in relationship with that person, it makes you love him more than you can imagine. I always talk about my husband. When I met Elgin, I did not love Elgin. He pursued me.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to know who I was. And there were times I was like, gosh, I don't want to talk to this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Because I grew up in a home where I was raised in a place where my mom told us when it came to relationship and sex, it was one birth control in my home is you have sex before marriage, I'll kill you. That was birth.
Oh, wow.
With mom, that's it.
Sure.
My mom was done. So even it made dating difficult. I was afraid. My first date, I would be in the room just hiding, afraid to go out. So it took a minute for me to really get to know Elgin, for me to be comfortable with him to the point of even saying, I love you back in marriage. I feel like this is the same with us and the Lord. He's wooing us, calling us,
Right.
wanting us to know, I love you. You are my child. Come to me. And there is a moment in time when you understand, yes,
Right.
he loves me. Elgin don't have to beg me to love him anymore.
Right.
I can now love him because he first loved me.
That's good.
And it's the same thing. I think there's so many natural analogies to love, God's love for us, that if we can look at it from the natural perspective, you were born, your parents loved you from the moment you came into the world. Same thing with the Lord. And we fall back in love with him. And it becomes so easy because there's nothing you have to do. That person loves you no matter what. That's the love of God. That's the relationship versus religion, what I have to do to get him to love me. I know I'm loved and I'm accepted. So it's just amazing.
Wow.
We're
Well,
not ashamed of the gospel.
No,
That's
not
right.
at all.
The power of God unto salvation. I'm thinking about that. As you're speaking, I'm thinking about that verse the whole time.
Amen.
Amazing.
I'll take all the questions if y'all don't ask something. So has anybody got anything they want to ask?
I do want to add that along our journey, we did enroll in Bible college in 2005.
Mm-hmm.
We were the first students to enroll at Charis Bible College, Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
And that,
Oh, wow.
yeah, that really, I'm telling you that that experience in Bible college really helped to establish our hearts in God's relationship for us, God's love for us, God's mercy, grace, and all of that. And, I really believe that going to Bible college together really saved our marriage,
Absolutely.
because prior to going to Bible college, I was so religious, and all of my relationships were bad. My relationship was bad with my son, my wife, my parents, and I was the common denominator. So, but going to Bible college, it really just taught me that, God is merciful, and you can't give away what you don't have. And so when I began to experience God's love and mercy and goodness and grace and forgiveness, I was able to finally give it to others, and that really gave us a springboard going to Bible college into ministry full time for the what we do in Africa.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to talk more about that. I want to get into Esther Kaikai Memorial. So that was your mother's vision, correct? That was on her heart. Now, was that something that you got to see, or how did it walk us through that, I guess? What's the history of that? She just said, Mazari, one day this is what I want to do, or you just saw her doing it and you kind of...
Absolutely. I grew up in a home where my mom was known throughout the country, from the poorest of the poor to the top 1%. They knew who she was. So I come from a family that was very influential. And I really, from a young age, didn't realize I had my mother's heart. I loved people. I collected children up the street and brought them home. And she would take them in, help them go through school. Even the kids that were brought to be like maids, if she saw potential in them, she went to school. And next thing we know, we don't have a maid anymore. She's now a school-going person. Who's going to clean the house? It was that sort of a life. So my mom, Esther, that's just like her name, she became an orphan very young. Her father died when her mother was pregnant with her, and her mother died right after she was given birth to.
Oh, wow.
So she was raised by people who really didn't take care of her. My mom was in the kitchen cooking at 4 and 5 years old.
Oh, wow.
She had to stand on a stool to reach the pot, and they wouldn't even feed her afterwards. It was so sad. And I remember her saying that in order to comfort herself, she would go to her mother's grave and lay on her mother's grave and talk to her, and which led her into a very early marriage because she needed a way out. My mom was married 4 times. Each husband died, and then she got married again, another one. So When you look at me and my siblings, we're like very different, very colorful.
Mhm.
People ask me, "You sure this is your sister?" Yes, there's a story. So even though she went through such pain, with most people, that's the opposite of what they become. They are self-centered, don't care about anyone. I suffered, I have a story. I don't care about anyone. That was not for her. Because of the pain she endured, she felt the need to help others. So she kept, even when we came to the United States, she would still send money back home for children. And so she was doing this all along. And I didn't know. Honestly, I was very self-centered after I came to the United States. It was all about me, about what I wanted to pursue. And I never went back until my mom passed away. She died in 2010. And I tell you guys, if it wasn't for Caris Bible College that really taught me about life and death, that my mom is in my future,
Right.
I probably would have died. Because I've never even wanted to imagine what life would be like without her. It was not even something that crossed my mind because she was going to be here forever.
Right.
I don't know why I felt that, but I did. So the school did not just help us in my marriage, but it also helped me to cope. And not only cope, but thrive and go on after my mom's passing. So we went to Sierra Leone in 2011 for the 1-year memorial. When most times if you are buried, you're in Africa and you live in America, you are expected to be buried in Africa. But my mom allowed us to make that decision for her. So I decided, my siblings said, well, let's bury her here in the States. This is where her children, grandchildren, everyone is. So let's do that. But the family in Sierra Leone were angry at us for not taking her back. So the first year anniversary of her death, I decided, let's do the memorial in Sierra Leone. That was the first time I encountered these children that she was supporting. I met with a few of them. They came alongside me. And I was so angry because before my mom passed, she was in Sierra Leone, went through cancer. They couldn't diagnose the disease. They said she had ulcer. So I was so done with Africa. I was like, after this, let me just do the memorial and I'm gone. I remember where the Lord met me right at that beach. I'm standing and these kids will come around me and just pull in my clothes, just wanting to talk to me. My eyes just welded in tears. A friend of mine went, she's an American, she went with me. She's crying and I started to cry. And she said to me, don't fight it. You know what you're supposed to do. Well, in a matter of an hour, I adopted 10 children.
Oh, wow.
Just like that. And imagine I was going to say goodbye,
Yeah.
do what I was going to do for my mom, and I was done. And then I called my husband and said, hey, you have 10 kids. And so it just went from there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is, you got 10 kids. You are the father.
She has made me a father of many nations.
Amen.
Because we have 25 children now at the orphanage in Bo.
And counting.
So just to get your, you get that call, there's, what were you thinking when that happened?
Yeah, I need to tell you the truth about it. When she first, she's the president of this ministry. I do what she tells me to do.
Right, as a husband does.
Yes. But when she had the vision for this ministry, I did not have the vision at first. I had to catch the vision later. But what I did was I always supported her.
Right.
I always supported her. And it took me to actually begin going to Sierra Leone and having relationship with these children and falling in love with these children myself for me to catch the full vision that God had given her. And so, one thing I realize is that when God gives you a vision, he always makes provision.
Amen.
So we've had challenges in raising money for all the things that we do, but we've been able to build a 20,000 square foot children's home for those children. And now we have solar that's going to be shipped to the orphanage. So there's going to be 24-hour light and power because we're totally off the grid there. If you want to see the progress of what we're doing, you can always go to ekmoi.org. That's ekmoi.org. And we have lots of pictures and videos of the progress. And so, yeah.
That's amazing. So let's do that now. Let's, Saidu, pull up the ekmoi.org. And Mazarou, when he gets these pictures, just tell us a little bit about what we're looking at. Because who do we have here? Who are these two fine children?
Let's see. We have Adama. Let's see. It's hard for me to see the faces there. I think that is Fatmata and Mohammed. Yes, thanks for zooming in. Let me see their faces.
I know they have.
Yeah,
faces,
that's
don't they?
Fatmata. That's Fatmata and Mohammed. These are right now children are in two different schools. We have like 4 that is in one academy, and the other, all the rest of them are in another school. So this is the sports for that particular school. So that's why they are dressed in their sport colors.
Okay.
Um,
So cute.
and so they take part in sports. They are really good at track and field.
Oh.
So this is the day of their sports, all dressed up, and they were there with the rest of the kids supporting them. They both did well, actually.
That's awesome.
I think they came first and second place. So the young man is Mohammed and Fatmata, and this is one of our older boys, Brima. Brima is my right arm. He is helping to run the ministry. He's in charge of paying the workers.
Oh, really? How
We are
old is?
training. He's 18 now.
Oh, wow.
We're training our children to be responsible because we know that they are going to take on this ministry.
That is so.
So
good.
we are now preparing them. Everyone has a team. We have team leaders, and these leaders, we meet every Friday on the phone, on WhatsApp.
Mhm.
We talk about the plan, what is happening with your team, what are the growth, what are some of the challenges, what are you doing to make things different. So he's the guy that handles all of the finances.
Wow.
Yeah, and
Building him up so much
Yeah.
for his future.
I'm telling you. And the thing is that they are late. The reason, just to go back a little bit, we don't have the typical orphanage model, which is 18 years, you're out. Because our kids are late for school. Some of them, they go to school till they were 8 years old.
Oh, wow.
So if you start first grade at 8, you may not be done with school till 25,
All
till high school.
right.
So they're a little bit behind, but they're a bit mature to where we can give them tasks and help them to grow. So now that one is Abu, a sweet young man. Some of my children are not completely orphaned. They might have a family that have been abandoned. He has a mom, and he's not an orphan child. He's got a mother, but not a dad. But when I did get with the mom and said, "What's the deal?" She said, "That's your child." They would literally tell me, "I want nothing to do with him."
Oh, my God.
So can you imagine what that does to the
Ar-
heart of a child? And Abu does really well. He's thriving. He's one of the ones that are really doing well in school. Yeah.
So, Saidi, are there any pictures, Mazare, where of the facility? Kind of is that, will we find that on?
That would be on the update, yes.
Okay. Well, I want to go back while you find that, Saidu. Yeah, it's incredible to think about just what you're instilling in these young men and women to,
Yeah.
as far as confidence, to
Mhm.
understand that if a mother may say that's your child, I'm done, and then you take them in and you prepare them and say, okay,
Yeah.
it's almost like I'm not going to feel sorry for you, because that's not, like you said, or I forget who, somebody was saying we all have our stories, but
Mm-hmm.
you can't look at that. You can't think about the origin story. I was an orphan, I was this. No, you're not anymore. Now you're here. We're going to start preparing you. You got so much life ahead of you. That's just an incredible thing.
I was going to ask you too, do you have any stories that stood out to you of
Okay.
some of the
I'm
kids?
so glad you asked. One particular incident, I called my husband. I was in the car. This is one of the kids that have both mom and dad, but they cannot do anything for her. I think I was taking her to school, or we were coming from school, and I saw her mom along the way. And I said, let's give her a ride. So she came in the car. I was driving the car. My daughter, Bintu, was in this front seat, and the mom was in the back. So she expressed to me, she is yours, 100% yours. I want nothing to do with her. It is as if I didn't even birth her.
Mm.
And so, I mean, because my heart is like, oh my God, you are rejecting her right now. The mom got out of the car, came to the driver's seat, looked at her. You are not my child.
Oh my God.
You are not my daughter. From this moment onward, look over there. That's your mom. My heart is breaking. I don't know what to say. We came home. I went upstairs. I called my husband. I said, oh my God, I can't believe she did this to this girl. So I said, Bintu, what do you think about what your mom just said? She said, I'm excited.
Oh,
Do you know such a bad situation in my mind? But to see this girl so excited about being my daughter, knowing that we love her, we accept her. She said, that was good. I'm happy. And then the next day she asked me if she can change her name. I want to be a Young.
oh wow.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
She wants us to adopt her fully into our family.
That's
Can you do that? Is that
And
okay?
the one thing I was happy about, she asked me with the other girls there. And I was like, well, this is a process. Are you sure about this, Bintu? And she said, yes. And right after that, the rest of them said, I want to be adopted too. I want to be adopted. So you see, it becomes this thing. But I'm glad it was not a private conversation because I don't want it to seem as if I singled her out. And it was done openly. So I don't want to deny her. She's asked, and I really would like to do that for her.
It's beautiful.
So sweet. So amazing.
I wanted to ask, do you think, or if you're able, I don't want to make just for you to make generalizations or say this is why, but what would you say is the reason that parents are bringing their kids to you? And say, is it an economic thing? Is it just that there's they don't want the kids overall, or what is the reason that you've seen, I guess, in the 25 lives that you've taken in, that their parents are just here?
It's a number of things. The war changed the entire fabric of my country. I grew up in a country where Sierra Leone was the Mecca, is what we call it, of West Africa. And now it has become a country of beggars, thieves, criminals, you name it. And I know people get upset when I say this, but it's the truth. And it's because we have not had the right leadership. And a country that was once a Christian nation is no longer that. It's a Muslim majority country.
Right.
So Christians have not played the role. And once again, we don't know what the grace of God is. So we've never been able to really share it to people. So you're talking about civil war, 11 years of civil war, Ebola virus disease, mudslide, a place where children watched atrocities. You're watching someone cut another person's arm. I don't even think it's okay for me to say what that looks like. It's just really bad because I don't want people to think, oh my God, these people are just barbaric. But this is what happened when they were given drugs and they were not able to, kids were given drugs to do things that they'd never done in their lives. So these are the parents of the children that are mine.
Mm-hmm.
Parents of the war.
Mm-hmm.
Whose minds were conditioned from that time, who lost who they were,
Right.
and just had babies that they didn't want. So that's one of the things. They may want to keep their children, but they just cannot afford. They don't believe in birth control. So they just have the kids, whether they can care for them or not. Most of my kids were contributors in their homes. At 10 and 11, you want to eat, you better bring some money. So what does a child do? Either have sex for money or steal for money. I have children that have stolen. I have children that have killed. I have all sort of kids. It was to the point where I was looking, I was like, am I safe with these kids?
Wow.
But now I have the most gentle, kind, sweet, loving children.
Praise God.
Because we decided that we're going to love them no matter what. And we're going to show them the love of God. So now they're experiencing the love of God. So it's a number of things that caused the situations.
And I remember we had a conversation once about them coming in with the Muslim faith.
Mm-hmm.
And then so what's that like, or what has that been like when a child comes to you? Do they hold on to that
Yes.
faith, and what's that like for you as a Christian, a believer in Jesus as the Christ?
Well, we tell them from the beginning, this is a Christian organization. That's not going to change. And kids would say, we came here because we were hungry, not because not because we love you, or we just want something to eat and you had food and you are rich. They think of me as rich.
Yeah, I was going to say
praise God. So it was that was the draw. They needed help. They needed to not pay money at home to eat. They needed the opportunity to go to school. So they will denounce their faith because they're not really devout.
Right.
And I'll tell them, we don't use the Quran here, we use the Bible. It's a Christian organization. That's the bottom line. So I tell the parents, and there are some that says, no, we don't want our kids to be around Christian families. Okay. It's not even their kids. This is their relative's child because the parents are dead. They're living with family. So we were just really, as a matter of fact, this is it. They came in. Some were not very happy about the fact that we're Christian because they've been told a lot of things that were not true. But as we loved them, we will read the Bible and they will join us. Every single one of my children are not just born again, but they are speaking in tongues. Down to my 4-year-old that will be 4 in May. It's amazing to watch her. She speaks in the Spirit. They are being taught and raised. They're loved of God. They know they belong to the kingdom. And y'all, I don't think there's anything better I could be doing with my life right now but serving these children.
That's awesome. So how do we look on getting the pictures of the facility? Because we're gonna share how people can give into this ministry at the end, but I want you to see what it is. You're hearing what it is. I mean, this is amazing. An opportunity to get so into what Mazare and Elgin are doing, and they're doing it for the right reason. Yeah, show that. That's an overview of a satellite image of the property, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We have 2 acres. We have the main building.
Center that for me. Sorry, Mazare.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh. Wow, it's really green around.
Yes, and we own a lot of the land.
Go to that now. Yeah, show them that. So you're that square.
That's us right there.
And you're in the jungle, or is that bush? What do you call that?
These woods.
Woods.
Say the woods.
Because you're from Georgia now.
Yeah.
We have a lot of land behind us. My children are involved in agriculture. We're growing our food, which is a big deal.
I'm going to ask you that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we're eating off the land. Elgin had a salad.
Yeah.
Rice salad.
Does he not usually eat salad?
No, I do.
So our property.
Oh, wow.
And at the store, it was all out.
Was it good?
Isn't that
It
amazing?
was amazing. There's a video on the website and pictures of all the fruits and vegetables that our children are growing. And then the day that I went to the garden, I came back later and they had harvested lettuce and tomato for me. And I had an awesome salad.
Oh,
And
that's awesome.
lettuce, tomato, cucumber. Yeah, very good.
That's really, really good.
It's really beautiful that you're teaching them like completely well-rounded. So you're teaching them the word, which is the most important, but to, like you said, themselves and to take care of each other.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing that we lack in schools is you don't really learn how to live after school.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all are giving them that, really well-rounded lifestyle. And it's so amazing. Y'all are just so blessed.
But the Lord showed me that ECMO is more than just an orphanage. It says you're going to go to the marketplace. How are you going to get there? Through these 25 children. So we are not just going to build orphanages. We're going to create businesses where they will be the employers, hiring people, teaching them.
Yeah.
We want to take over the country and ultimately all of Africa and then the world. You are not just going to not everyone is going to come to your church. Not everyone is going to come to your Bible college. Not everyone is going to come to whatever, but they will come to the store that we build because they need groceries. They'll come to a gas station because they need gas. They'll come to the things that God has put in my heart. They will come to these things and they will be served by these amazing men and women of God. And they will treat them as such to where they know that they too are men and women of God. So somehow through the work, through our work, our workplace, our staffing, we can touch these people and they can take that same love into their own homes. And before you know it, it's spreading.
That's how you change a country. From the children.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So good. I really want to get one of these videos in. Let's see more. Let's see more from we got some goats.
This is our goats eating.
Oh, it says that Elgin salad right there.
Yeah.
I gotta let the people see because they're like, "What's Elgin salad?"
Yeah. Those are the goats. The boys bring in the bushes or the leaves for the goats, and the goats are having a field day.
I see
This-
LeBron James right there.
Yeah, this is every day.
Next, let's keep going. Scroll through. Let's do some slideshows here. Y'all love them goats, huh?
Oh my God. Goats and the children all fighting for rice. We eat a lot of rice in Sierra Leone. This is hilarious. We go through a 100-pound bag of rice in less than a week.
Wow.
Yes.
I love rice.
Do y'all eat? Do they eat a lot of meat there, or
No,
do you?
I
Okay.
don't. It is something that we will eventually do. When we first started, I brought a lot of my Western mindset, feeding them things they probably should not have been eating.
Chicken nuggets.
And I quickly changed that or turn it around. It's like, no, let's start eating well. So now we're eating off the land. Excuse me, we eat fresh eggs because we have chickens.
Good. Yeah.
And so they are doing, I tell them, you want to eat enough eggs, then take care of the chickens. And it can create more eggs. The kids take care of everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean,
We got 42 chickens right now.
yeah.
42.
Mm.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And we have a matron. We have a matron and an assistant. She said to me, "You have done so well that I don't even feel like I have a job here. You have trained these kids so well that they are so well organized. They know when to wake up. They know when to do because they wake up at 4:30. They do an hour of gratitude. Everybody writes 3 things they are grateful for. They go around the table and share. And then they pray 5. We have 5 prayer points in the morning. They can decide. They pray for the nations. They pray for the family. They pray for their donors. They're praying for y'all, really. They pray for the health of our nation, Sierra Leone and America, because that's where their donors are. And they pray for just anything. They just randomly pray 5 prayers. They go to school at 7, come back at 3:30, eat around 4:30, because usually it's like 2.5, 3 meals. They eat by 5 o'clock. Dinner is served. They go to studies for 2 hours, and then an hour Bible studies from 7:30 to 8:30. They have a really tight schedule. An hour of Bible study. They go through 5 verses in the Bible, and then on Sundays they do their own sermon.
Do they teach it themselves?
I do studies with them. They do our cell lessons. That's their sermon every Sunday.
Oh, okay.
We go through it, and then the hard words, I give them spelling. You have to spell and pronounce. Now that's something.
Yeah.
Them trying to pronounce these big words. So that's what they are really learning about the love of God. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
I'm gonna derail this real quick. I remember you had we were having a conversation, or you had mentioned one time that when you go back, did you say that they look at you? They say that you're American now, because sitting here, you're one of the most African women that I know. But when you go back there,
I'm American.
Isn't that interesting?
This is interesting. Some of them call me a white woman.
I
had to say, this is no joke. It's like, lines.
They're teasing you, or what is it?
Real.
What is it?
It's like
Why do they-
Westerner, really.
Their
Is what they're trying
mentality is
to
what they're
say,
trying to say, yeah.
Westerner, and they'll refer to me as a white woman. It's like, really, you're not black anymore. It was like, what?
Is it because you've been here for so long?
I've been there for a while. Some things are a little weird with them. I would not eat certain things. I will talk a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm afraid of certain things. Like, I don't want to be around. Oh, you're not white. You're not. And so they'll make fun of me. My kids will make fun of me. Like one time while we were doing the construction, there was a snake. And I jumped. I literally leaped off the floor and up the ground and up, and the snake went right under my foot. And they thought this was the funniest thing ever. They don't believe a grown-up should be afraid of snakes. They will chase the snake, chop the head off, and
Be done with it.
yeah.
they still talk about it.
Another
to this day.
man over here. 'Cause
Then-
I know a little bit of what she's saying because
yeah.
I mean, when y'all go back to Panama, you're looked at completely different than
Yeah.
the people that are local. Yeah.
I was actually talking to a friend of mine the other day. He was saying like how even your scent is different to them. Like you smell different.
Yeah,
Really?
it's true. Because people don't have money for deodorant. They shower and they don't have deodorant, which is a curve we have to get past, because some people don't even have toothbrush. They use sticks to brush their teeth. Even now, in 2025, there are people that don't have toothbrushes. So I have to not only give brushes to my children and soap to my children, I have to do it to the staff because I want them to not to understand. And one of my boys said to me, "We didn't even know we smelled bad until you came around." You know, it's sad. It's so many first. First time to use a toothbrush. First time to have they call it scent soap that has good smell. First time to wear, the young boys, most of them don't wear underwear because they don't have money for it. And then first time to have a birthday. Now I celebrate birthdays and Christmases. They have birthday cards, and they would read it and cry because they said, no one has ever done this for me. I didn't even know that this was a thing. So I have experienced so many first with these kids, and we make sure every birthday we celebrate it.
Yeah.
Every single birthday celebrated.
So many things that we take for granted.
Oh my
here.
God.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Simplest things.
Even my birthday, I was here February 19th, and they were celebrating my birthday. I said, wait a minute. Aren't you supposed to be sending me money here? Are you asking me to send money to you so you can celebrate my birthday? Yes.
That's awesome.
Well, Alex and I are in construction, and I know Eli works in that field as well. But I think the biggest thing for me was listening to you talk about the construction process. So I would like for you to share a little bit about that because it's so completely different than the way things happen here.
Man, I'll tell you, I know so much about construction now. I'm in real estate. For 20 some years, I've been selling real estate, but never did I think I would get this much. Here you buy bricks, right? We make our own. We make our bricks by hand. We do 6-inch mold or 5 inches mold. That's how we build the orphanage. And we buy our cement. We have to know the right mixture with the cement, sand, and water, and make thousands and thousands of blocks. We did not use a single equipment for the foundation. It's all by hand. When I tell you we have great soil, we have amazing soil. And what that means, it's hard. You have to dig through, you're talking about how many feet down, and then mix the cement. We have to do our own rebars. For our pillars, we have to tie the rebars together. This is why it's taking so long, because everything is done. What a machine will do in the United States, we're doing by hand. Clearing that bush that you guys just saw, we had to do most of that by hand. And eventually I was like, you know what, we could be here all day. We need to get a machine. That 1 hour, for 8 hours, they'll charge you thousands of dollars. So you have to use human resource, human help to do it. Eventually, Elgin and I started buying certain things to take with us, like, the axle and the blade, and so they can use some machines to get things faster. We did everything by hand, everything. And we have to haul it from the stores to our construction site. The stealing, ridiculous, everything we have to protect. We have to get somebody to safeguard everything for us. Measurements are off because these locals are not really trained well. If they get the right training, I'm sure they would do better. But our blessing was having Jonathan from Mexico, from Guadalajara. It made the world of a difference. So they made sure that everything was done well, but we still have walls that are not as straight as we would like. Tiles not laid as well as we would like. I had to overlook that because as a real estate professional, I know what my expectation is, and I'm looking at this, they're going, oh my God, this is beautiful. I'm like, no, it's not. Right. So I had to switch in my mind and realize, okay, this is not your mansion, Masseray. This is for these kids.
Right.
There are going to be mistakes, and your partners will understand that. But it's a lot of work.
Let's Saidi's got some stuff up right here, just to kind of give the viewers an idea of what you're talking about. And I'll tell you, this looks really good for being done the way you're explaining it. This is
How many years total from the
We
beginning?
broke ground 2016, and we'll come and work for like 6 months, and I'll come back to the States, raise funds, and go 6 months, a year later. So it's about 8 years, 16. Yeah, and then, before I forget, let me tell you this. You know what our scaffolds are made of? Sticks.
show us.
Yeah.
Look at that ladder.
A scaffold, that's all it is.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
This is for real.
Just imagine pouring a structure that size by hand. Is
You know how we pour concrete?
Yes.
We have a group of people. We have like 200 people. They tie the bag, the bucket with a rope. We take it up one person to the next. It can be 24 hours pouring concrete just to do concrete in what we call floating.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hit that right there. Let's do.
500 bags of cement.
Is that
That is absolutely
those blocks, that stack of
These are
blocks right
blocks
there
that we made.
you made? Wow.
We did this by hand. Even I know how to do this.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
you got such nice nails, though.
I don't do this in Sarah.
those are not so long now.
No.
So they don't accuse you of being a white woman.
Yes, of course. And then to the corner of that, we have smaller buildings. We have 2 outdoor bathrooms now, because at first it was intended to have just one. But the one that would be connected to the sewer, well, septic,
Yeah.
and that would be for the children's. And the one that they're using now will go to the staff. And we have a building that is a store that's going to store all of our things. These are our unfinished projects. We have a building for the goats and one for the chickens. So it would ultimately, once we finish the orphanage, we'll have to take care of the grounds.
Right.
And then after we do the grounds, and of course take care of the animals' places, and then we'll be ready for other things.
Go back to those, Saida, if you don't mind. Mazar, if you would just kind of talk us through what we're looking at here. This is the main building, right?
This is the main building, and Elgin, you quoted, this was actually 14,000 square foot.
Okay.
And then with the other buildings, then we have a combination of close to 20.
Yeah.
But this is not what it looks like right now.
Right. Yeah.
What you're looking at is the blocks that we did, center blocks, with all the way to the top. We did the foundation, of course, and we used, oh my gosh, that thing was so deep. The metal, the irons that have to be stretched through, because the rebars, we don't have the ones like we have here. So we do our 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 5/8, 3/4, and we have to just stretch them and tie them with a binding wire as if it was a metal. So it will create what we really need for the structure.
Right,
Yes,
right, to be able to.
to be able to support. So we did tons, maybe 50, 60 tons of rods to get this building. This is one of the strongest buildings in Sierra Leone.
Yeah.
I guarantee that. Well built. We tested the soil, we tested the sand, we tested the cement. Well, Geraldo did that. Dora's brother, he came and he made sure we had the right consistency, made sure the stone was right. He made sure the blocks were strong. He would take them and just drop them on the floor and they would not break. It's like, oh, this is good. So we have some good structure. Lots of money, millions have gone into this project.
I wanted to ask you. You had talked about the equipment rental. Do you find that people perceive this project as a sign of money, and so they tend to try to take advantage of you when you go to hire somebody and they think, oh wow, this is a huge project, there must be money involved, and so you're paying 3-4 times what a normal.
There is a science to this. When Elgin is in Sierra Leone, I don't even let him talk to people.
Yeah.
Because just even as soon as he opened his mouth,
American.
oh, he's an American. For me, if you were to see me in Sierra Leone, you probably would not recognize me because I'm very poorly dressed. I don't have hair done. I walk with slippers. The first few years, I couldn't hide it. I just couldn't. But now, I am just like the rest of the locals. If you said this is $5, I said, let me give you $1. I negotiate. I am master negotiator.
Yeah.
I had to learn how to do that.
Right.
Because if it wasn't for that and the fact that I handle all of the money, I send no one to buy nothing for me. I do everything on my own. I go to the different shops, like the construction store. I talk directly to the owner. I said, do not make deals with anyone. Because if I find out you are overcharging me for something that is not what it's supposed to be, you will go to jail. So you have to make threats. I mean, unfortunately, that's the game. And I have made strong alliances now. So things are better.
Good.
You still they will still take advantage of you, but it's nowhere close to where it used to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys have bought stuff here too and shipped it over there, right?
We are right now in the process of sending another 40-foot container.
Oh wow.
We've done 2 40-foot containers. I bought everything from the States. Their bath toilets, we shipped like 30 toilets. The only thing we bought in Sierra Leone was windows, which I regret. Right now, we're still waiting for doors. And Elgin and I will probably go to China in April because it's probably cheaper to do it there
Right.
than to buy it in Sierra Leone.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's crazy. The things we've learned from this process. We just want to make sure the kids have the best product as we finish the building. And I know God has more things on our heart for the country, but we'll do a lot of things differently. It is where we are now.
Well, I think it's very important that people hear, like, you guys are being very good stewards of
Yeah.
the money that's being donated and getting the best quality for the best price.
Absolutely. Because if you don't do that, if I was just jumping on things, being a realtor really helped me, I have to say. Having served as done real estate in the United States, it allowed me to know quality and things like that, even though we are using totally different type of construction. Here we use sticks in the walls, lumber. Over there is cinder blocks, but you can still learn. I always go online and I do comparison. And I had the support of Mexico, Dora's brother, who would help me and say, hey, what should I do for this? And he would give me feedback. And Peter Wan, so I had people that would guide me. But some things you just learn as you go.
Yeah.
And but I control the spending.
Yeah.
I really do. And I remember the board wanted, Master, why don't you take a salary? I said, ECMO, I don't have money to pay me right now. This is not it. This is for us to do. Yes, I used to work. I had a job. I had to give up my career in a way just to be with the kids. But we have not lost a meal.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
We are doing fine.
Awesome.
It's hard on him because he works a whole lot. But we're okay. And I know that everything will work out for our good.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The things that you guys are sowing into the kingdom are just going to come back
Priceless.
so much.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Priceless.
Yeah. These are the types of these are the things that Christians should be giving. Yeah. Yeah. This is
Changing
God.
lives. Yeah.
And anybody else got anything?
How long is the process from when the container gets shipped to you guys receiving it? And do you run into any problems, people stealing stuff?
Yes.
Oh,
This time around, the good thing is we are in control of what goes because everything in the container, with the exception of maybe a couple of cars, that is not ours, because we have to find a way to pay for the container. So if I have space on my container, I will allow people to put maybe 2 cars and they'll pay me for it. Then I would use that to add towards my shipping costs. But I have to know what's on that container because where the delays come is if there's something there that looks suspicious. Your container could be delayed for months and you paying as this happens.
Oh, wow.
Then when it gets to Sierra Leone, you better have the best people waiting because they could open your container, go into your container and take your items. And they're not using care. They're just taking and throwing stuff. So for me, I have to use this where you have to use contact. You have to use people that you know in high places and make sure your container is protected, that too many hands doesn't go in it. And then get it from Freetown to Bow. So we have to get that container on one of those load belts, those heavy machine, and take it all the way to me. 3 hours. Maybe it's probably going to take like 6-7 hours because it's a slow ride.
Oh.
yeah.
It has not been easy.
So there's been challenge after
It
challenge.
has been,
but
every area of this project has been challenging. But like the Bible says, looking unto Jesus, the author and the finisher of it, who for the joy that was set before him.
Amen.
That's our joy. Our children having what they need and changing the trajectory of a nation. I mean, it's just a small price for the big picture. So for me, it's part of it.
Yeah. So it's not just money, it's prayer.
Mm-hmm.
It's prayer that you need.
Yeah.
We all need to come together and just pray and speak against thieves, speak against con artists and people that just would try and disrupt what the vision is. And now it's not just money that people can give to ECMO. Is there a way? Are there other things or is money just the best way? I mean,
money is because for now our goal is to really is time. 2025 should be the completion of this building, and not just the building but the grounds.
Mm-hmm.
Now we can use human help. If someone says I can do grading, I can come and grade, or I can come and tile or paint. things like that will always be useful. But again, it takes money to buy tickets. And some people will say, instead of me doing that, why don't I just give you the money that I would spend on a ticket to go and help? And then you can afford to get the right people. So right now, yes, I think money is the most important. We need a bus for the children. That, even with the bus, it would probably be better to buy it in Sierra Leone, because after you pay to get it in the country, you paying what,
Ship it.
10 or whatever thousands.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of money. So I can still raise the funds and just get a new bus or halfway decent bus in Sierra Leone and just drive it to Bao. So yeah, we can take donation of school materials, shoes, clothing items, book bags, because we have age ranges from 4-year-old to 21. So whatever is on people's heart,
Yeah.
whatever they can do, we are open.
Did you want to share, Elgin, how people can give and how they can
Absolutely.
partner?
Yeah, the easiest and fastest way, most efficient way to give is just to go to our website. That's ekmoi.org. Again, that's ekmoi.org. And the giving process is very easy. We are a 501c3 nonprofit, so when you give on our website, you get an immediate tax-deductible receipt to your email. And so save those receipts so that you can write those finances off on your taxes. And I also want to add that you can also give through stock donations. We're set up to do that. So if you can call us at 770-714-5037. Again, that's 770-714-5037. We're set up to also get stock donations. And if you have any questions about the ministry, we're very transparent. Feel free to call us anytime. But I also want to add that whenever I go to Africa, and I can't go to the market myself, my wife has to be with me because they'll try to give me the American price. But she always tells them, don't give him the American price, give him the local price.
And I can't wait to take a missions trip. That's my next thing. And just get people ready, prepared for what it is. And then I think it changes your life. I tell you, will never be the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I bet.
We'll make sure to put those phone number and website in the comments
Okay.
section too.
Yeah.
Sure.
A lot of people are wondering whose jersey are you wearing, Elgin?
Oh, this is one of the old school jerseys, Mean Joe Green.
Yeah, I know who it is. Well, you guys out there, Joe Green.
Mean Joe Green.
Saidu didn't know.
Well, listen, I think that this has just been an incredible opportunity to hear your hearts and just to get a brief insight into what's going on over there. And I'm so proud to have you guys in our lives, what you're doing. I know that we all feel that way, and proud to be just to have you here to let people know what, just a firsthand experience that there are children out there. Yeah, there are children here in the States, but you know what? You're our sister, and we know what your heart is. And I would just encourage anybody. She's not asking for a set amount. She's not asking for $100, $500, $1,000. Whatever is in your heart to give, every little bit absolutely helps, and it's always just a great blessing for me to be able to share the heart of ECMOI. So I guess that's it.
Thank you.
Guys, I don't really have anything else unless anybody else does.
Thank you so much for being on.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, both of you.
Pleasure.
Yeah,
You're
Glad to
welcome.
be here.
you're very inspiring.
Yeah, we'll be
Mia take care of you?
You take care? You take care of me?
Itakemi.
You doubt me?
No, Mia.
You're about to start a fight here.
That's what it means. You take care of me?
It says I love you. Mia take care.
Is that Creole? You looking up Creole?
Yeah,
If you say take care,
take care.
it's almost like you doubt me. Eh?
Take
You
care.
doubt me?
We love you.
Yeah.
Oh, you love me? I love you.
I love you.
Simple.
I love it.
Sierra Leone is a British colony. So English is what, So I love
It too hard is what I hear her say.
you in any other way. I like you.
Yeah, that here. I like you
I
here,
like you.
and then the other one's here. Mia, take care.
Take care of you.
Yeah.
Folks,
That's wrong.
thanks for joining us.
Because,
Oh,
these things evolve.
I like you is here. I like you.
We love you. Go to ECMOI and whatever's on your heart, give so it will not return. It's in the description. Don't forget to like this channel, hit the subscribe button, set the notification bell, comment, and keep ECMOI in your prayers. That's it. Nothing more.
Amen.
We love you.
We love you.
Love you. Bye.
Amen.